Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Leila's Thoughts. I'm your host, Leila, and today I'm going to be discussing what to expect as an incoming freshman at MSU. So I'm going to be talking about the location in East Lansing, the campus, social life, classes, and clothes, and stuff to bring. Okay. Also, note, before I begin talking about it, I am trying to transfer from Michigan State, not because of the school or anything. I just don't like feeling like I'm at a big college in the middle of nowhere. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just not a fan of that. So I'm trying to go somewhere else that's more in a city because that's just more my vibe. But nothing bad about the school. That's not why I'm transferring. Anyways, so the location. East Lansing, kind of in the middle of the state. There's kind of nothing out there. There's a bit of restaurants, bars around the campus, north side of campus. Other than that, there's not really anything out there. There's not much in Lansing, in the capital. The weather. First semester is pretty nice. It starts cooling down. Second semester, low-key sucks. It's cold. The weather is constantly in the teens. So you're going to need a much bigger jacket, which I'll talk about later. But it is cold, snowy. You're going to have to take the bus. And the bus there's slush all over the floor of the bus sometimes. Not fun. The snow's kind of nice. It doesn't get too bad. Again, it's just really, really cold. Not fun to go to class in that weather. Food options, kind of limited. There's a couple Asian restaurants around. I don't even know. Cane's, Dave's, McDonald's are the primary fast food places. There's a Chipotle, Starbucks on campus, which I'll get into for the combos and dining. But the food options are also kind of limited to the town area. And grocery stores, there's Meijer a little farther away. Within walking distance, there's a Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, but it's 20-30 minutes walk from East Campus. So not really something you're going to be going to every day. Definitely. Stores, there's also not a lot of other stores out there. There's maybe one or two non-food. There is a lot of coffee though. So if you're a big coffee fan, if you love lattes, there are tons of coffee places to try, which I kind of got into this year, which I appreciate. But also that's where a lot of my money went, so I'm also not too happy about that. But the coffee's really good. Airports and travel. There's 2 airports. There's the Lansing one, which you'll probably have to fly in from Chicago, 20 minutes away from campus, Uber. Or there's the Detroit airport where you have to take a 2-hour bus ride there. It's really easy to figure out the Michigan Flyer. You do have to sign up ahead of time and definitely get there early, or else you're going to have to take the bus that stops in Ann Arbor before it gets to the airport. But other than that, yeah. Although Chicago, it is really difficult sometimes with connecting flights. I had to basically run across the airport one time because my plane hadn't even gotten to the gate yet when my other flight started boarding. So, okay, next to the campus, like I said earlier, there's buses, which you're going to have to take if you're running late for class, your class is just really far away. The weather. Campus is about a mile to a mile and a half, depending on which way you go. So at least 30 minutes of walking if you're going from south to east, east to Brody, northeast, any one of those. There's 3 main buses that you're going to be taking. The 33, which is from north to south and goes to Cata. The 30, which is from east to south. That one I took a lot. And then the 31, which goes from Brody neighborhood to Cata to Grand River, which is the main road. Yeah. And that brings me to the neighborhoods. There's north, south, River Trail, which is right by the bus station, east. Probably the worst neighborhood to live in just because of location, and Brody, which is the newer and where a lot of sophomores live. I really enjoyed South neighborhood. I think it's in a great location. You have access to the fields. You're right next to the new gym, which is super exciting. The new gym is nice, guys. It's so nice. I don't know too much about River Trail, but it's really convenient for CATA and the buses, and their dining hall is pretty good. The dorms, I think River Trail is community, North is community, East is suite style, but also, do you really want to live in East neighborhood? No. South is also suite style. I enjoyed that. South is where a lot of your engineers are going to be, so if you're an engineering major, you're probably going to end up in South neighborhood, Wilson Hall. What else? South also, I think, has the second best dining hall. East has a pretty good dining hall, in my opinion. Really consistent with the options. Case has most of the fresh fruit, though, so if you really like fresh fruit, that's going to be Case. It's obviously not super good, but it's not bad. I think compared to other dining halls, Michigan State has pretty good dining halls. But overall, I'd rank them Acres, South, Brody, Shaw, North. Along with the dining halls, you're going to get combos. Dining hall passes are unlimited, but combos, you get 12 a week if you're on the meal plan. And that's basically like, you can spend them at a Sparty's, which is kind of like a convenience store. You get an A, B, and C item. A is drinks, B is food item, C is a snack item. You can also spend your combos at Starbucks, which is where I was most of the time, and at Sandbox, which is a bagel place at Holden. And I low-key forget the other one. I think there's a new one called like Nucleus or something in Holmes and East. I don't even know. I haven't been there. Yeah, this is kind of unhelpful. Or you can spend them at 1855. 1855 is probably my favorite place to go, just because that Sparty's has peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And you can also use Grubhub and get like hot ordered food, kind of. That's hard to explain. It's like a limited menu. Yeah. Anyways, the gym. The gym is nice. The original IM West, I don't know if IM East is going to be open, but the new gym in South neighborhood, so many freaking Stairmasters. You're never going to have to wait for a Stairmaster again. There used to be 4 in IM West, and one of them broke at the end of the year, so there were only 3. Now there's like 20. Everything is spread out. It smells nice and clean. It does not smell musty. There's multiple levels to work out in. The basketball gym's huge. You got Pilates studios, cycling studio, yoga studio. You got a track at the top you can walk and run on. Climbing walls. I will say the indoor field's kind of disappointing because I played Ultimate Frisbee and we used indoor field sometimes, but we also use Duffy, so. But yeah, the indoor soccer field's kind of disappointing compared to the old one at IM West. They're still in construction with the pool, so you're not going to have access to that, unfortunately. But the new gym is so nice. So many squat racks. I feel like you're never going to have to be waiting anymore for weights to use. And then you have the bouldering wall and the climbing wall. Social life. It is a very bar-heavy school, which means you're going to need a fake. And I am not in any way telling you to get a fake ID because that's illegal and we don't do that. Very bar heavy. There's like 3 bars I think that you can't get into with a fake that are senior bars: Tin Can, Lou and Harry's, and MASH. And there's always a line for those anyways. There's a line for everything, but getting a fake that's where you're going to end up. It does cost a lot of money and you're going to spend a lot when you're out, unless somehow you get your drinks paid for, which I always kind of manage to do. Not intentionally, obviously. I do Venmo people back sometimes, but very bar heavy. Frat parties only happen like 3 times a year if you're not in a sorority. I think sororities have other events with the frats, but if you're just like normal, not that sororities aren't normal, but if you're not in a sorority, there's only going to be like 3 times a year they're throwing parties. Beginning of the year, which those are super crowded because all the new freshmen go. Halloween, which are also super crowded because people who don't have fakes, that's the only time they get to go out, really. Also, the bars are super crowded on Halloween. And the beginning of the second semester, sometimes they throw. Other than that, you can't really count on the frats. They're also not the most fun. unless you like going to frats. The bars are better, me personally. Bar crawls, end of the year bar crawl, super fun. Everyone does it. St. Patty's is also a big thing at MSU, so everyone's gonna be out. I don't know if there was a bar crawl or it was just like parties that I went to. I don't know. That was fun. Football games. A lot of people just leave after halftime or the first quarter because our team kind of sucks. And I never went out after football games because I didn't have a fake ID. Those are entertaining. I usually just skipped football games and went to the dairy store. By the way, the dairy store, really good ice cream, cheap ice cream. You can spend Spartan cash there. And if you're on the meal plan, you automatically, depending on the meal plan, you already automatically get Spartan cash. You can also spend Spartan cash at places off campus, like Jamba Juice or Auntie Anne's. It's like on a website somewhere. You can look it up. The freshman year friend group. So you're going to get into a friend group freshman year. What they say is true. It's not going to last. You might have a couple friends, but most likely that whole friend group is going to split into different groups. Someone is going to go crazy. I know so many people who know people who have gone crazy. Their roommates have gone crazy. Good luck with that. Yeah, what they say about the freshman friend group is true. Also the freshman 15. That's scary. Just stay active, go to the gym. Like, that's because a lot of people just stop playing sports and they go to college and they drink and eat unlimited. Just be disciplined. If you continue exercise as normal and you stay disciplined, you're not going to gain it. It's simple. Clubs and intramurals. I recommend joining clubs and intramurals. I joined the MSU Ultimate Frisbee team. We're called Moose. So fun. Some of the best people I've ever met. I'm very sad that my seniors have graduated and that I'm going to be leaving my friends behind if I go to a new school. But honestly, some of the best people I've met. So nice. Such a great environment. I'm trying to get them to go out more. Some of them don't go out. If you see this, y'all need to go out more. I'm not saying you have to drink, but like, we used to go on like ice cream runs all the time. And this literally always happens to me. Like, my stupid iPhone storage runs out in the middle of every single podcast. I mean, this is only my second podcast, but still. What was I talking about? I was glazing the Ultimate Frisbee team. Yes, join a club, join intramurals. That's where you're going to meet some of the most fun, cool people. People you're going to get along with. People who have the same interests as you. Like, go make some friends in a club or intramurals. Do it. Simple. Rush. I went through sorority rush, kind of. I dropped out halfway because I didn't like the houses I got back. Not for, like, top or, like, oh, I didn't get a top house or anything. I just didn't like their vibe, so I didn't go through with it. I don't think I'm, like, sorority material. Like, I'm not very good at being, like, passive-aggressive, nice, you know, like, oh my god, hey. Like, I feel like that sounds really fake if I do it. Anyways. Rush. Kind of chill, actually. Everyone was really nice during Rush. Alpha Phi or Alpha Phi, whatever that sorority's called, very scary. And other than that, Rush was fun. I think you should go through Rush. You can meet people. Yeah. Classes. Do not listen to your academic advisor if they tell you to take a class. Don't do that. Unless it's like required, then probably take that. But do your research on the professor, what the class is, especially if it's like an IAH or an ISB, ISS, ISP. Figure out what that is. If they tell you to take some random class that's not required, don't take it. Don't. If you need an elective, go and find something that has to do with your major because you can look it up online. Go find something useful and take that. Because whatever class they tell you to take, it's going to be horrible and it's going to mess up your GPA or you're going to be bored out your mind. Okay? Sign up for class is going to be kind of rough. You're not going to get the schedule you want. Some of your classes are going to be early, like 8 a.m.s. Some of them are going to be late. which aren't fun either. By the way, you're not going to go to your morning classes. I know you're like, oh, but I got up for high school. Like, I used to get up at 5:30, 6 for high school. You're not going to get up in college. No. Okay, the fact that my phone literally did it again. Not a fan. Anyways, you're not going to wake up. I thought I was going to wake up for classes. No. I quit that after, like, the first week. Later classes also kind of suck. You're more likely to go to them. I still am refusing to take a 5 o'clock class now. And lastly, before my advice, because I always give like a piece of advice at the end of these, clothes. You're going to probably overpack clothes, okay? You do not need all those shoes. You do not need all those jackets. You might need a couple jackets. You don't need all those hoodies, all those pants. The nice shirts, you're probably not going to wear nice shirts. Going out clothes, yes. Nice stuff like dresses, no. Especially if you're not in like a sorority or frat. Sororities, frats, they have their formals. Clubs sometimes have their formals. You might need like 1 or 2 dresses, nice outfits. Other than that, you're not going to need it. You're also most likely not going to dress cute for class. Unless you do, like me. I actually dress kind of like normal. Like, I wouldn't wear a t-shirt to class. No. If you're like me and you're from the West Coast, you are going to need a thicker jacket. That little Patagonia jacket you have or North Face jacket is not going to cut it. You need a thicker jacket, a winter jacket meant for the cold, meant for like 10-degree weather, because there's going to be a couple 10-degree days, or it's just going to sit in the teens and you're going to wish that you had something more than your little puffer, okay? So get a thicker, heavy jacket. Get yourself one of those, okay? Pay extra for them. Go thrift shopping for them. But get a thicker jacket. You're still going to overpack. You're not going to need snow boots, I don't think. They might be nice to have if it's like actively snowing. Definitely bring something you're not afraid to get a little dirty. Your shoes are going to get ruined if you go to bars and frats. So bring a pair of beater shoes like Converse. Bring a pair, honestly, that thing they say like 3 shoes, beater, normal, kind of nicer. That could honestly work. I don't know. If you have a really good shoe rotation you like, you can bring those. There's also not a ton of room to put your clothes. You have 3 to 4 drawers, depending on your dorm, I think. 1 closet area, little closet area. Much wider, like this wide, maybe. From here to, I don't know. Don't bring all those clothes. You're not going to need it. And you can always come back during Thanksgiving to get winter stuff. Or you don't even need heavy-duty winter stuff until spring semester, honestly. So bring the heavy winter stuff over winter break. And bring your warm clothes back over. Like, swap them out. Because it is going to suck till, like, April. The weather is going to be terrible till, like, April. Even in April, you're still going to be cold. You're still going to need a jacket. It's going to be chilly. You do not need your summer clothes during spring semester. There were maybe like 3 75-degree days. I don't know. But just swap them out. It's going to be a pain trying to clean out your dorm and gather all your clothes together, because if you're anything like me, you're just going to start accumulating clothes and you're just going to have more at the end than when you started. And especially if you live across the country like me, it's going to suck having to try to get those home with you. I left a good bit of clothes in Michigan. They're in storage at a friend's house, but they're in Michigan. Yeah. Also, you might not even need to bring all those clothes back for summer. You could just leave them out there. Because I have no use for half the stuff I brought. I brought back like all my jeans and I'm worn like 3 pairs. Yeah. Anyways, my advice for the day is being uncomfortable doesn't always mean that something is good and that you're growing as a person. While being uncomfortable is a part of life, sometimes uncomfortable is just uncomfortable and maybe you aren't in the right place. People will tell you to come to college with an open mind, and I think that's still important, but it's also, or I even think it's more important to remember who you are and what boundaries you have in college. If you say you're not going to drink, don't do it. People don't really peer pressure you in that way, but you might feel like you want to. I say stick to what you want. don't try to go too far outside your comfort zone just because other people are doing it. Like, people around me were smoking. I didn't do it because I'm very much against that for like personal reasons, and also it's just really terrible for you. Do I care if other people do it? No. I'm not gonna change them or anything. I'm not gonna look at them like, ugh, you're disgusting. I just personally don't do it, and I didn't feel pressured into it. So really stick to who you are. If you come in being open, like, I want to try stuff, I want to try new things, make healthy choices on what you try. Drinking less is better, so don't overdrink because it really sucks. You might think you're fine, but give it a bit. You're gonna take a couple shots and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't feel anything. Wait. But yeah, just know the difference between uncomfortable, like bad uncomfortable, and like growing as a person uncomfortable. Yeah. Anyways, bye guys. That's it for today. Mwah.